All right, good morning. How are we doing today? I hope everyone is well. I have moved around the microphone inside of the helmet, so we'll see how that sounds. I am currently ensuring that the adapter is secure, and we're going to try this freeway route again on my normal commute to see if the audio quality holds up, which I'm really praying that it does, because it actually sounded really good last night, with the minor exception of the mic positioning, which theoretically is an easy fix just by moving around inside the helmet, which I've tried to do here. This guy, why do people always turn in the bike lane, bro? If you have to squeeze it in to fit, it's not for you. That should be a simple rule. And then you did that to go right there. You should know that you can't turn right there, bro. People, man. I digress. I don't know why this mirror keeps shifting like that. That's pretty annoying. I'll have to tighten it up one of these days, and then I'm gonna keep complaining about it because I know I'll forget to do it, because that's just how it works, right? You're like, oh, I'm gonna do it when you're on the bike, and then you get home and you're like, oh, I'm home now, so I'm gonna forget about everything that I was just complaining and or thinking about and spending energy on, and then it just becomes a recurring segment in your mind. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, mic positioning. So yeah, I switched it around last night, but before I did, even with the current position, the position I started out in, we had some good audio last night, so I didn't get to go speed. What is this lady doing? That's the you see in the bay, dog. It's crazy. But I didn't get to go freeway speeds last night because it was super windy, but it was also super windy, so I didn't go on the freeway because I didn't feel like being blown over yesterday after an extra long day at work. So this will be the true test to see how things are going. I just yelled like you guys couldn't hear me, and I'm not right in your ear, so I apologize about that if there's a big spike right there. But yeah, so I have moved the mic away from my mouth. You know, it's funny because on the inside of a helmet, between, you know, the lower half of, let's say, your nose to your chin, there's not a whole lot of real estate inside of a helmet, as you can imagine. And if there is, that means your helmet's too big. So finding new places to put this mic is definitely not the easiest of tasks because of the aforementioned reasons. But then on top of that, I already have the Shockwave audio system, which has its own microphone built in, so that way if I want to make calls, or hopefully when they'll do this update that people have been rumoring about, which will let you do rider to pillion comms, which is basically the person sitting behind you. I think if you wrote in a tight enough group, you could probably sneak away with having rider to rider comms for you and one other person, which, you know, it'd be great to have something in the quality of like a Senna or Cardo as far as actual communicators go. But for now, you know, I usually don't ride in giant groups anyway, and the handful of groups that I have ridden in, the first one was massive, but there's no way all of us would have been talking anyway. And I only noticed you know, maybe one or two people with the communicators on anyway when I was in that massive group. And then the subgroup that I was in when I was riding that day, I don't think any of us had them on anyway, so that wouldn't really matter. And then, you know, the other smaller groups that I've ridden in, I think a couple of people have mentioned that they have them, but no one brought them, so, you know, not missing out. I do want to eventually get one, but it's just hard to justify right now since I've already spent what, 200 bucks on this here shockwave audio system. So I don't know, maybe when I get the 4.0, because I'm not gonna get a 3.0 unless I win one of these 10,000 giveaways that I'm in. So fingers crossed on that one for me, you guys, that your boy gets hooked up with a new helmet, because if it's free, it's for me, and two, you know, who doesn't love free stuff? So yeah, let's hope that this mic positioning works out. What I did was the built-in, or I only say built-in, the add-on shockwave mic has like a little groove where it's designed to go on the right, which is a whole nother topic of conversation that I won't get into in this video. But since that already has some real estate on the right, what I did this morning, well, what I did yesterday was I tried to get super creative and use one of the cheek pad panels to position the mic on the left side. And before I could even probably get my helmet on this morning, on my way out, it had already fallen off, and even the wind muff on the lav mic had fallen off. And I was like, how do you lose the wind muff on a lav mic on a helmet that you're not wearing, that hasn't gone anywhere but in the bag and sat down to be put on at a later date? Like, that made no sense to me. But luckily it was just still wedged in between the cheek pads, so I didn't have to break out one of the spares that I have, which I wasn't 100% sure I had, but then I remembered where they were. But like I said, didn't need them, so that was a win there. I'm gonna squeeze past you since you're a big boy. Woohoo! Go California. And oh, perfect timing. Let's go. Yeah, so I didn't have to use those, but I was able to find it. And what I did was what I'm doing now is I'm using the straps from this chin mount to go ahead and have it in a lower position in the left side of the helmet, which hopefully gives me just enough distance so that way it doesn't, you don't hear like my mouth breathing that was happening in the first test video. Oh, by the way, this is MotoVlog number 2, take 1. So I decided after looking at